Welcome to Lockscape. Here at Lockscape, we're dedicated to motivating the next generation of wealth. So relax and enjoy while we give you 10 wealth tips from the richest man in Babylon. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. George S. Clason published the novel The Richest Man in Babylon in 1926. The theories in this book are centered on old Babylonian principles and parables. A tale about a certain rich guy, Arkad, who was called to educate his fellow men how to accumulate wealth, was told in the book. The lessons from this book are still relevant today, despite how many centuries have passed since it was first written. Here is 10 wealth tips from the richest man in Babylon. Tip number 1. Set aside a portion of your income for savings. For every 10 coins thou placest within thy purse, take out 1 for use but 9. Thy purse will start to fatten at once, and its increasing weight will feel good in thy hand and bring satisfaction to thy soul. Arkad recommends setting aside 10% of your annual income to begin accumulating your wealth and purse. There are two groups of individuals when it comes to saving. The first group consists of individuals who spend first and save afterwards. The second group, on the other hand, saves first and then spends what is left. Nearly 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck. That is, they use the first method, which states that savings equals to income minus expenses. However, the same lesson can be interpreted to mean that for every amount you earn, you should quickly learn to set aside 10% for yourself. This is referred to as paying yourself. A lot of people save money, but only a small percentage of them pay themselves first. This book tells us that we should learn to recognize the value of our efforts and pay ourselves first. Tip number 2. Learn to distinguish between your necessary expenses and desires. Confuse not the necessary expenses with thy desires. Arkad strongly advises to avoid spending on items that end up being mistaken as necessities. People seem to believe their income is incapable of covering all their expenses. According to George Clason in this book, since they tend to mistake necessary expenses with wants, even if they earn a better income but can't tell the difference between wants and needs, they will constantly find themselves in a situation where their supposedly necessary expenses multiply to exceed their income. Budgeting according to this book will allow you to differentiate your needs from your wants. So, you may just spend on the items that are essential to you and stay within your budget. Tip number 3. Make your money grow. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes. Learn to make your treasure work for you. Make it your slave. Make its children and its children's children work for you. Arkad recommends investing your earnings and compounding the investment gain. Money, according to the wise Babylonians, is a seed that if planted correctly can yield a fortune. For it to grow, you must make your money work for you. If you want to be rich, you must earn more than your current salary. Rather than spending money on depreciating assets such as vehicles and large houses, this book recommends investing in assets that will appreciate over time, such as stocks, real estate, and starting a side business. These long-term passive income streams will ultimately provide you with enough money to live on when you are no longer physically capable of working long hours. By way of compound interest, the money you invest in will grow in value over time. Tip number 4. Boost your earning potential. The more wisdom we know, the more we can earn. The man who tries to learn more of his craft shall be greatly rewarded. Arkad encourages to keep improving your skills in order to boost your earning potential as well as wisdom. If you want to be wealthy, you must devise strategies for spending less and earning more. Experts have also stated that concentrating on your earning potential is more ideal than focusing on saving more. If your income rises, you should be able to save more. The value of personal development is highlighted in this book. There are numerous strategies to increase your income. However, It basically all comes down to investing as much as possible in your skills and gaining knowledge at the same time. Tip number 5. Reduce the risk of losing money. Is it wise to be intrigued by larger earnings when thy principal may be lost? I say not. The penalty of risk is probable loss. Study carefully before parting with thy treasure, each assurance that it may be safely reclaimed. Be not misled by thine own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. George Clason emphasizes the importance of being aware of one's financial situation in order to avoid the risk of losing money. Many people disagree with this since, of course, no one becomes wealthy by playing it safe. Successful entrepreneurs, on the other hand, are known for taking calculated risk. The first rule of investing is to never lose money, and the second rule is to never forget rule number 1. Warren Buffett's belief in this notion has propelled him into the world's top 5 richest men. This lesson's main point is that you should set aside time to seek the advice of individuals who have experience in the field you wish to pursue. Building true wealth is usually a gradual and steady process, so you need to be patient enough to seek advice from not just anyone, but also an expert in your chosen field. Tip number 6. Secure your financial future. It behooves a man to make preparations for a suitable income in the days to come, when he is no longer young, and to make preparations for his family should he be no longer with them to comfort and support them. Our card recommends setting aside money for a pension and future retirement income. Life is a mystery. That is the reality. As a result, it will be ideal if you create enough plans and preparations for unforeseeable events. These plans involve having an emergency fund and considering various types of insurance, such as health and life insurance, as well as setting out a retirement plan. Tip number 7. Create a profitable investment from your residence. I recommend that every man own the roof that sheltered him. Our card recommends purchasing rather than renting your main residence, as well as using your residence to start a business. The wise Babylonians highlighted the value of owning a house. They believed that making payments that will someday turn into equity is preferable to giving money to a landlord. Furthermore, financial figures show that homeowners on average generate more wealth over their lifetime than renters. This claim, however, is questionable because it involves personal finances. Although having a home is a nice idea, it is also costly to maintain. As a result, you must consider your options carefully and only select the strategy that makes sense for you at this moment. Tip number 8. Only those who take action are rewarded with good fortune. A lot of individuals seem to believe that some people are born lucky and meant to be rich. They believe that luck is a supernatural element that is constantly working behind the scenes. This book challenges that belief, arguing that individuals who are favored with those who could foresee opportunities and act in them. It emphasizes that only those who work hard will be rewarded with good fortune, and only then will you be able to draw in good fortune. Tip number 9. Settle your debts. If a person does not pay his bills, he has no respect for himself. The book indicates that you should do everything you can to avoid debt. It emphasizes that debt can be prevented if spending is managed, and debt already incurred can be quickly eliminated with consistency and discipline. George suggests that the best debt solution is not to run away from it, but to face it. Make a list of everyone you owe money to. Meet with them and ask for their patience. After that, you must devise a repayment strategy and proceed with it. Living on 70% of your income, saving 10% for yourself, and settling your debts with the remaining 20% is an effective method of paying off debt. Tip number 10. It is more important to learn how to build and preserve wealth than it is to be wealthy. A man's wealth is measured by the income he generates, not by the coins he carries in his wallet. This lesson covers all of the book's other ideas. You may probably be confused by the distinction between accumulating wealth and being wealthy. Here's what I'm talking about. If two individuals have the same amount of wealth, say $100 million, and one accumulated over 20 years by starting and expanding a profitable business and properly investing his profits, while the other wins the lottery a few weeks back, who do you think will have a higher probability of restoring their wealth if both of these individuals suddenly lost all of their wealth? Yes, that's right. The former has a better chance of regaining wealth than the latter. Mastering the habits that lead to wealth is a crucial skill that will pay off in the long run. Regardless of your current financial situation, since its people understood the value of money, Babylon was the world's wealthiest city at the time of its peak. If you wish to build wealth, you must first understand and follow the laws of money. What lessons have you learned from this video? Please let us know in the comment section below. And if you loved the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.